classes. And
you don't like what? You don't like what?
I don't like to miss anything in AOV.
Yeah.
So I like to be always prepared. And I lead like 2 or 3 times, maybe I'm out and about. I also try my best to be in the class. But then I think I feel disappointed when I'm told by a facilitator that just because I am out and about that I shouldn't attend the class because I am, well, I understand 50-50 and they want total attention. And for me, I'm trying my best to give, I'm also participating at the same time and doing my stuff at the same time. And I feel like I should give people the opportunity to be there because they've tried to be there. And there's some activities that cannot you cannot specify a time to do such a certain activity. So hata ufanye nini hiyo inaanguka saa 7 mpaka saa 8 na unajali kwa hapo, at least your effort you appreciated. That's all.
Okay. And what do you think, Rodrigo? Rodrigo, what do you think about that?
What do I think about the challenges that
some of them are facing, some facilitators. Facilitators who do not allow the students in class when they can't be like 100% concentration. What do you say about that?
Here's what I always say to my students. Every teacher is different. So learn your teacher, learn what the teacher likes and do exactly what the teacher likes. If you give me, for example, I honestly don't mind whether you come to class or not. That's your issue. But what I usually say is, even if you don't come to class, make sure the assignments are done. I'm the kind of teacher who, as long as you've done the assignment that I've given you and you submit, at least I have something to go with. So learn your teachers, understand your teachers. Every teacher has a different methodology of teaching. There are those who wouldn't mind whether you come to class late or not. I would mind because I want to teach you something from that in itself. So if you cannot be able to attend class, I always say, talk to me earlier. Tell me more than 1, 2, 3, 4 things I cannot be able to make it. But the assignment that you had given, I've already done. And the assignment that you give, I'll make sure that I do and submit it even before everyone else. You see, now that saves you a lot. Yes, that
also builds a very brilliant rapport. Rahab, the winner at AOV3, was sick, like almost 100%. She was sick, always in hospital, always, etc. But Rahab, if she was going to miss a session, will always ensure that she talks to you way beforehand and say, I'm going through this challenge and this and this and this. So that when you're in class, even when you see her, you know that she's operating from the hospital. And most of the time she used to operate from the hospital. So what she would do is her camera would be off, but she would listen. She would be the first to admit, to hand in her assignments. That way, you feel like, oh my gosh, at least hata kama hakuwa classy 100%, there's effort. But if there is zero effort, you're the one who always hands in your assignments late. You're always the one who has excuses. Again, try to avoid excuses. Sometimes you don't need it. Faith, umekuja kwa class saa 7:30. Alafu ikifika 15 minutes to umetuma message hapo, guys, I have to leave. And every time you have to leave, you tell us, I have to leave. Unajua hapo sasa una cause interruption. Hapo sasa sioni kama kuna wisdom call.
Helen.
Yes.
I'm seeing Ellah is here.
Yes.
Ellah is finally here.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, Ellah.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello. Poleni nimechelewa. Sisi ndio tunaambiwa tunafika class late, tunatoka mapema. My apologies.
Umeadmit tayari.
Mimi nimeadmit. A good student anaitikia makosa and then we move on from there.
Yes.
We should be progressive in nature.
Yes.
A good student anajisema.
Kabisa. Kwani Rodrigo anasema kwani iko nini? Iko nini?
Kwani iko nini, you know?
Kwani mitafanyika, you know. Yeah. Anywho, thank you very. Yeah. I want to thank you so much. Yes, Rodrigo, yes.
No,
Go ahead,
without
sorry.
further ado, Madam President, Karibu Sana,
Yeah.
and everybody welcome to this session. I wanted to organize this session because I thought it would be very important for our first episode to have someone who has been through exactly what you contestants are going through right now. She has been in the performing arts industry for, I don't know, ever since she was, I think, 16, 15 years old ongoing. Now she's an old an old lady, and she's doing really, really amazing things. Ellah has been my student for a very long time, since she was 16 years old, and amekuwa kijijenga tu pole pole. Anyway, with that being said, this is Ellah Maina, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to introduce her, but I'll say this. Ellah is my protege, not because she's special in any way, but because she's learned the 3 principles that I always teach my students: discipline, hard work, and humility. That regardless of where you are, regardless of who you are, of what you've done in this life, you need to be humble, you need to be disciplined, and above all else, you need to work hard. Ellah has been, or is this, because she has always put her work and let her work speak on her behalf. And because of that reason, she was in Netflix with Sincerely Daisy. And right now, her most recent film is Crime and Justice, a production done by Showmax, sponsored by Kano Plus One, and a lot of other Kenyan industries. She's a filmmaker, she's an actress, she's a singer. Are you a songwriter? I don't think you're a songwriter. But anyway, Madam President, now you can take over. She will introduce herself.
Ellah, my number is 07226999320722 079801560734872854. Gani kusikia hapo, just in case you forget. Hata mimi niingie Showmax na Netflix. Anyway, so there's a guy, before Ellah comes in, there's a guy who came all the way from Atlanta. He usually gives me an invitation to every year to Atlanta to MC. And so he came over. He's called Pastor or Reverend Gigi. I think most Kikuyus know him because he has built a little Kenya in the US. So when he came, he told me, I want to do a movie. This movie is called The Presidential Candidate, and you're one of the presidents. Do I qualify, Ellah? Do I qualify? Do you think Netflix will allow me to?
Sasa, you know you are Hellen Mtawali. If Netflix does not accept you, who will? Who will they accept then? Wewe jina kubwa sana. Kuna jina.
I tell you, ujaluo ni bakibarua. Anyway, thank you so much, Ellah. I've known you for a long time, since I ever knew Rodrigo, and I know I've done several shows and engagements with Rodrigo. I think that's where I had your name for the first time. And I think so far, you're one of the people who has done J.RODRIGUEZ proud. And Rodrigo always talks about people he's produced. I think hapo ndio Rodrigo amenishindia. Yeah, hapo amenishindia. Mimi nilizaa watoto wengi mpaka wengine siwakumbuki. Lakini nitawakumbuka muda mrefu sana. Yes. Rodrigo has, you always remember people you have ever worked with, especially those who are excelling. I know that I also have produced many people who excel, but I'm not as good as Rodrigo. Rodrigo knows their background, knows them in and out, Yeah, and so Ellah, I want to give you this opportunity. I wouldn't introduce yourself. I usually introduce myself. And that's the reason why I have a long name, Hellen Olivia Akoto Molo Nyarnyakach. Wakine naka woto tadwo ngora therefore. Mtawali. Every name has a define. Every name has a reason why. Hellen, Hellenistic God. Olivia, you know what is olive, Olive oil, etc. Yeah. Akoto Omolo, that's my Luo name. That means I represent Africa. Omolo is my fatherly. And every name has a reason why I have. And for a long time, I suffered inferiority complex because of my eyes. People used to tell me, Naniona. I didn't know that I was an alien.
Your eyes are beautiful.
I'm an alien. Thank you. And I didn't know that everybody could see what I see, because at some point people used to think I'm blind. They would even call me Maria Kot, because Mariatino is blind, Yeah, so those are things that contributed to making me feel so inferior. But when I got to DESA, I met a woman who told me, Helen, you have what people don't have. And that minute is when I discovered my potential. And I tell you, I have gone far, so far, by just identifying what God has put inside me. I explored myself, like Miles Munro says, when you explore yourself, you know, the sky is never the limit. You go out, you outdo yourself. Everybody must notice you wherever you are. To identify myself. So you see that kind of definition of Helen Olivia Kotomono introduction? That's the kind I want from you, Ellah. So who is Ellah? Sema kujisikia. Najisikia mhenga. That's my latest discovery. All right. Go ahead.
Wacha nianze sasa. My name is Ellah Maina. Hizo zingine sina, niko na 3 peke yake. Actually, Ellah in full inakuanga Stella. Most of you don't know that. So my full name, ile kwa birth certificate, ukinitumia M-Pesa, utaona imeenda kwa Stella. So Stella means star. I've grown up nikijua that my name means star. And I think I am living up to my name. Nduta inamaanisha nitoe. Mimi hujitoa. Naweza kuwa nikiwadanganya hapa lakini just take my lies. Nimejituma, nimejitoa na ninafanya kazi to achieve what my name means, to live up to my name. And Maina is my father's name. I am Kenyan. I'm 22 years old and I'm an actor. Rodrigo amesema kila kitu about me. He says he won't introduce me, but still he does.
Yeah.
So like he said, he's been my mentor since I was... Mimi ujiita actor. Mimi ujiita actor.
Okay.
Until now we get down to specifics kama kwa award ceremony where you need to differentiate the man and the woman. That's when the actress comes in. But I just like to refer to myself as an actor because that's what I do. I act. My gender has nothing to do with that. So an actor. So I have been with Rodrigo since I was 16 years old, and he's been my mentor. And like he said, he's walked with me this entire journey. Now it's because of him that nimefika mali, nimefika saizi, and I'm entirely grateful to him for that. Madam President, is that enough an introduction?
Excellent. So after your introduction, I want to know, are you single, searching, married, easily mingling, easily to mingle, easily mingling?
I like to mingle. I like to mingle. I'm very easy to mingle with.
Yeah.
Pigeni simu, nione kando. Niambieni maneno matamu, pia mimi napenda kuambiwa.
All right. What's your daily schedule like? After doing Netflix, etc., are there things you did that you think is outrageously out there that Kenyans don't do? What's the difference between Kenyan industry and the Netflix and American industry? And what did you do to qualify to be there? Yeah.
First of all, when most people hear Netflix, they think about this huge corporation, your film, yenye, I think lazima kwe. I don't know what kind of artist you need to be to get to Netflix. Anybody can get there. I think industry yetu mali imefika saizi, we are really pushing the agenda. We are trying to change the game, and I can feel the change happening. It's a revolution. Slowly by slowly, we're leaving our old ways of filmmaking and adapting these new methods of filmmaking. And it's qualified to have a film in Netflix and Showmax and all these others. So what happens is, I did not to qualify to be on Netflix. I just did what I could the best way I could. So like I said, I'm an actor, and I was enacting a petition in 2019 called The Next Superstar. So The Next Superstar, I won that competition and secured my role on a feature film called Sincerely Daisy. So now Sincerely Daisy, the production team, they only get in touch to Netflix and they made it happen. So when we were filming Sincerely Daisy, I didn't know that itakuwa Netflix. Mimi kazi yangu, I did it to the level best because it was my first feature film, and just like any other project, mimi nikienda kufanya, I just pour out my heart and soul into it. Hakuna kubahatisha. You do it to your very best, and you see what happens. you get into Netflix automatically and you get nominated for awards one after the other, because nimeona hizi vitu zote zimekuwa zikihappen ever since I got into that competition. So sifanyangi hizi vitu na agenda ya achieve something greater, but something greater comes my way because of how much work I've put into the craft. So much as mindset tunafaa kuwa goal oriented, do not focus too much on what is going to happen after this. Like, focus on the now. Fanya your kazi saizi and do it to your level best. And then all these other things, zinajileta because you deserve them. Yeah.
Pretty much sounds like seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, then everything shall be added unto you. Because if you're doing it as unto God, you want to give it with the best and give it, do it with excellence. I always tell people, don't let people be your payer. Let God be your payer. And that way you will provide excellence. And as you do you, the world will notice you. Helen, how did you start AOV, etc.? So how many people, I tell you, I have many people who have had passed through my hands and many lives changed. Not because I was doing AOV, I was doing me to please God. And I was doing it as unto God, to make somebody's life change, to touch somebody's life. If you do that, and as unto God, I tell you, and leaving no stone unturned, somebody's life is going to change. And when somebody's life is spots you, exactly what I did, and I was doing I hear a phone call, Helen, we want you to participate in not American Idol, Britain's Got Talent, and they were actually doing everything for me. Now I'm gonna have a visa from Britain, courtesy of doing me. And it's true that you don't do it for the sake of wanting to get favor from people. But if you want to get favor from God, I tell you, the world, I'm not talking about Kenya, the world will spot you. It doesn't matter how late, even if it's in old age, it will spot you because you did it with passion and you continue doing it like for the now, like there was no tomorrow. I think that's a very good point. If you do it as like there's no tomorrow, you're ready for the best to show in your way. Okay, Ella, tell us, you have received these awards. Many boyfriends have come your way. How do you choose?
Well, I think I should have pointed this out when you asked. I am single. Yes, I am single. No one has put a ring on it. And
even if there's no one who has put a ring on it, there's something that is behind your head that tells you not the right one. Maybe what but truck drivers, like that. Ooh, how do
imagine before tuanze kuangalia all these material things, mimi, when somebody approaches me, I feel I'm not looking for anything physical. Okay, physical, of course. Ungependa kitu inapendeza macho, right? But that's not the first thing I look for. I look for a mutual connection. Is there chemistry between us? Unaona ile unapatana na mtu and you don't know this person, they're a complete stranger, but then the minute you start talking, unasikia aya mse tuko na a lot of things in common. You like doing this and so do I like the way you think. Vitu kama hizo. I feel like chemistry ni kitu it's something that you feel at the very first encounter with a stranger. So if there is that chemistry, you give it a chance to grow, and without rushing it, I believe trust the process. Usirush hizi maneno. You've known each other for a week and you're already dating. I don't think, like, what's the rush? Unakimbia kwenda wapi? There'll be tomorrow. Take your time to nurture this relationship. No, by the time I make decision, hey, us guys were a couple and we want to spend this time together. By the time nafika hapo, then you have a solid foundation to your relationship. So mimi hakuna kitu specific mi utafuta, but kama souls zetu zina connect, unajua human beings, Mungu vile alituumba, there's someone out there for everyone, and we are all created in his image and likeness. We are all so different, but we are very much the same because we're only human. So tafuta that human mwenye mna connect na the right human for you, and that's basically what I do. Hakuna pressure.
That's the right human. Unajuaje? because
Imagine
ndani ya
unajua
roho ndio mnasikizana.
ni ndani ya roho, kama Waswahili wanavyosema kipendacho roho dawa. You know that person mwenye you just feel content when you're with them. Hutaki hii, hutaki hile. When you're away from them, you're just thinking of them and just want to be close to them. I think that is love. And love doesn't have to happen over 3 months or a year. It could happen instantaneously like this, but then it totally depends on who you are as a person and who this other individual is. So ni about kujiskizia wewe as a person and also listening to this other person that you're trying to get into a commitment with. Usiharakishe vitu. And there's no sure way of knowing. Siwezi kwambia ati ukisikia umefeel hivi ndio umejua you're in love. Nah. It's something that you know for sure. It's like how mtoto akizaliwa anajua directly that anafaa kunyonya maziwa from matiti ya mamake without being taught. So some things just come naturally to us like that. They are inbuilt. So when you feel love, you will not mistake it for something else. It will be love.
So Ellah, you
Yes.
can hear me, right? I hope there's no echo.
Yes.
Is there echo? Is there echo?
There's no echo. Nakusikia
Alright.
poa.
Okay, sawa. Lazima ningeka tu AOV mahali mtu aone udemi wa AOV. So now we always train. I don't. How did you like? You've done talk show hosting, and are those some of the things that you had planned to learn, or it just comes by default?
I never planned for any of these things. Funny thing about the talk show, it started with Zoom Room with Ellah, and we started that with Rodrigo in the middle of a pandemic. Last year, katikati, it happened so randomly. He just called me up and told me, wait, see, you have time. See, we interviewed this person from States. He's a director. No, he's not from States. He's from the United Kingdom, and he's a commercial director. Why not just have a chat with him? And just like that, it started. It was just one Zoom meeting. And I can't say that nilikuwa najua chenye nafanya. It was the first time I was hosting anything. So with Rodrigo's guidance, he's always guiding me. And he believes in me so much that I have no option but to believe in myself. Ananiambia, tufanye talk show. That's not the first thing that will come into my mind. In fact, that idea terrifies me. But then I trust his guidance, and I know he's doing this to ensure that I turn out to be the best version of myself that I can. So by trusting him and letting him guide me, akiniambia tufanye talk show, yeye ndio anajua, let's try it out. If I try it out and I feel it's not my thing, naachana nayo. So most of these things sikwangi nimepangia, but as they come my way, it's like a new challenge every day. When a challenge comes your way, you just deal with it. You may not know how exactly, but ikijipresent pia wewe, we have the God-given wisdom to deal with these things as they come. So instead of running away from the issue, face the issue head on and conquer it. Face it.
Yeah, as well. We had something called music chat when we did AOV3, and we used to go live every Thursday. And the first one, guess what? I was told by my producer Helen, we have a talk show and you are going to be the host. I was like, me, really? Excuse me. I don't even know how to introduce people, but all along, I've been that kind of person. Sometimes I even practice. I'm like, so today my name is Hellen Mtawali. We have somebody like that. I practice and not knowing that one day the opportunity will strike. And when it strikes, what are you going to do with it? Do you know what? I had to face it just the way you're saying. Now, part of the reason why we always establish certain giftings from people, and we don't wait for another time. So we're going to through your guidance, you've been guided by Rodrigo, through your guidance, give a chance to some people who have been here to see whether they can make good talk show hosts or not. As long as you have that language, you must be a talker. So I'm going to start with Brian. You know, he's like among the people who always, not Brian, is Fred. This is Fred. Yeah, so Fred, he looks like he's at an environment that he can be a talk show. So sit up, Mr. Fredjan.
Fredjan, I see you.
You're taking over after me right now. You're going to now be the talk show host. We'll give you 2 minutes or 5 minutes or presenting your best. So imagine you're a talk show host and you have to interview Ellah. You have to have the right question. You have to be the person who we are believing you are. You're a talk show host. Introduce yourself as a talk show host. I did this to Maire. Today Maire is one of the best talk show hosts, and I hope she's gonna follow your footsteps. Okay, so over to you, Fred. You're the talk show host, and let's hope you can ask the right questions to our guest, Ellah. Remember to introduce yourself and then introduce Ellah and then like ask a question. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, action.
Action.
Hello, fellow contestants, and apologize. My name is Fred, contestant in AOV4. And at the bench, we got our one new guest, Madam Ellah, the one and only. It feels good to be with you, Ellah. So
thank you, Frejan. Thank you. It feels good to be here, Asante.
Feel at the right. It is natural. So just a few.
I'm sorry, Frejan. I think I'm not too sure if it's my internet or yours that is unstable, but I'm having a really hard time making out what you're saying.
Oh, sorry about that. Are you
now? I can hear you.
Now?
That's much better.
Yes, please. Sorry. That's a bit of a difficult problem, but I do have producers are working on that. Are we good?
Okay, all right. Thank you.
You can get me?
I can.
Yeah. So back to your question. I just wanted to know how has been your journey so far in relation to the guidance I've been getting from Mr. Rodriguez, one who is our facilitator in AOV. And how
go
do
to
you
Ellah.
consider his...
Okay. So far, the journey has been...
That's okay. Yes, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay. I was wondering whether if Ellah had your question. If not, we would think of plan B, but that's fine. That's okay. Yeah, go ahead, Ellah. Yeah.
Okay, he asked how my journey with Rodriguez's guidance has been so far, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so my journey with Rodrigo, he was my friend before he became my mentor. The thing of Rodrigo, he gives you the honest truth, the blunt truth. You may not want to hear it, but he will tell it to you because no one else will tell you. So sometimes tutakosana. Sometimes he's going to tell me this and it's not going to make me too happy, but I know better. I'm wise enough to know that I cannot overreact in some situations. Rodrigo is always looking out for me. So the first thing I always, the thing that I never forget is that Rodrigo and I are on the same team. So sometimes even if our visions differ, we still have the same goal in the end. We're on the same team and he's just looking out for me. So it has been an uphill climb in some way, but it has made, I think it has smoothened out the path for all these other things that I'm doing so much. Rodrigo has made it easier, and that's the work of a mentor to make, to sort of take care of all these hurdles that his mentee, is that what you call them? Yes, that his mentee could go through. So yeah, it's smoothened the path for me, and I'm very grateful for that.
Wow, thank you. I hope some of our contestants too have had about that. So from our contestants, the moments that you have with Mr. Rodriguez, I hope that you're getting information. And you will pick them as the is it? Yeah, back to my next question. Ellah.
We already moved on. We already moved on to someone else. Yeah, but that was 5 minutes only. That's okay, Fred. Thank you. Well done. Ellah, how did he do?
Thank you, Fred.
How did he do?
Well, He did well. I think he did well. Ni internet tu ndio ilikuwa inamwangusha, but I think he did well because the thing about interviewers, they ask the same questions over and over again. And the thing about him, he asked me a question that was kind of similar to something I've answered before, but it was different in its own way. Because ameniuliza about my journey with Rodrigo. Hajaniuliza, oh, your journey with acting, nini nini. So that was good.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Frejan. Bless your heart. Faith, your turn. Faith, let's have Faith. Niko kwa studio ingine hapa kali, najisikia tu mzungu na mhenga.
Wait. We make it, mama.
I tell you, you will make it. I can qualify. Fred and Faith, we're going with who start. Their names start with F. So Faith, let's go ahead. Go ahead. Let's ask.
Okay.
Be your, the talk show host that we are looking for in Netflix. Faith, over to you.
Okay. Thank you guys for tuning again back to my station. And it's Faith hosting here once again. And we have beautiful Ellah once again. She's a singer, she's an actor, and she's popular in Kenya. Now we are happy to have you, Ellah.
Thank you very much, Faith. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, so can you tell us about your journey and how your mentor helped you out in your journey to become who you are today?
I would love to, but I feel like I would just be repetitive because I believe I just now answered that question with Frejan.
Hauna bahati Faith. Umeintroduce vizuri lakini swali hapo kwa swali ndio kuna shida. Unaturudisha standard 1. That means, what does that mean, Ellah? She's not been listening or what?
Someone has not been paying attention in class.
Someone has not paid attention. All right, we'll give you another chance. Faith, can you ask another question that nobody you imagine? And remember, Ellah is very specific because certain questions have been asked over and over and over. So be creative and ask a question that you think nobody has ever asked, Ellah. So go ahead and ask your question. Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, so Ellah, can you kindly tell us your journey in acting? How is it has been, your challenges, your best moments, your worst moments, and how you overcame?
Okay. I will answer the question because I have not answered it on this platform. But when you go to YouTube and all these other platforms who have done interviews, that is a question that every interviewer asks. So it becomes monotonous because even our audience, they already know about my journey. They already know about my challenges. So telling them the same thing over and over again doesn't look good on both of us because you lose viewership and I look stale. But anyway, just because I'm in a good mood today, Faith, my journey in the acting industry, imekuwa tough. Siwezi sema imekuwa ati a smooth curve. Kila mtu, like at some point, no one knew about Ellah, and then the next thing, everyone's talking about Ellah. It didn't happen overnight. I've been in the industry for about 3 years, and most people would say that nimebahatika ama nimeomoka faster than most artists, but it's hata mimi nimefanya hiyo kazi. I deserve to be where I am right now. Challenges zimekuwa because people undermine you, especially when you're fresh in the industry. Mtu anashindwa we ni nani, unakuja hapa, like what do you have to offer? Make a name for yourself. So imekuwa very challenging because sometimes you walk into a room and watu hawakujui, and the fact that hawakujui inaweza wafanya waku undermine, but if you let that get to you, then watu hawatawahi kujua and they will forever undermine you. So that is one of the challenges. And then one of my high moments, Netflix, like I've had so many wins tangu niingie kwa industry and they're coming one after the other. So kulikuwa na Netflix, kulikuwa na Kalasha, ndio huyo mimi Showmax, all these moments. Hakuna yenye naweza sema nilipenda more than any other, but zote ni accomplishments zangu and I take them equally. They give birth to the next win and the next and the next. So zote ni zangu and I take them as they are.
Beautiful. I love the way even Ellah has answered that. Ellah, isn't it funny and ironical that you just need one win somewhere? You just need to hit bingo. And once
Just
you hit
one.
bingo, everybody now notices, you know. I'm
Maze,
like, I've been around, guys. I've been around.
I've been here.
Yeah,
Have you
I've been
guys not
here.
been paying attention? Nimekuwa.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like for me, that's the project fame. I hit one, then another one comes. I'm like, oh, so ilikuwa ni job ya kila siku, you know. And after that, people start noticing me from different avenues, different angles. You're like, guys, you know. But I love the fact that you still do you with excellence. Keep doing you with excellence, and the world, actually the globe, the world will notice you in whichever way. All right, let's go to this food monger. Let's go to the food monger. Lynette Aola, it's your turn now. She's the one who tells us, Mimi ndio najua Marathi. All right, over to you. Thank you so much, Faith. All right, over to you, Lynette.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Hello, guys, and welcome to our talk show today with our one and only Ellah, famous actor, show host. So, oh, Ellah, you're welcome. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Lynette. And how are you?
I'm good. So, Ellah, I'd just love to know what really inspires you or gives you that push to move forward, because as you know, in any break, in anything that anyone does, there's that force behind you that makes you move. Of course, you've told us about your mentor, Rodriguez, but is there any other extra force that makes you feel like, yeah, I need to do this?
I think that force is called passion. That thing that makes you wake up every single day and look forward to doing the exact same thing you did yesterday. But then in my profession, unlike a 9-to-5 job, I don't get to go to the office every single day and do paperwork or the same routine every single day. As a creative, it's a lot more exciting for me because I get to experience life from so many different perspectives every single day. And the thing that keeps me going is my passion for it, because it's a very tough industry. It's not easy for anyone, but then you just keep going. It's because you're so passionate about that thing. It's what makes you live and breathe. So passion.
Sure. So the power of passion.
Yes,
it's next to my next question now. As we all know, every industry in every nation has challenges. So what are the major challenges that you've noticed in the Kenya film industry that you as Ellah would love or would just be happy if they could be taken care of or if they could be well handled?
One, the biggest problem of them all is professionalism. I feel like the entertainment industry, let me just speak for the entertainment industry because I'm not too sure about these others, but what one of course of professionalism, you are half, like you beat around the bush when you're doing your work, badala ya following the right procedures to do these things, mnataka kuzifanya kimalamala, vitu za mtaani, sijui nini nini na like sometimes instead of filing the right paperwork, instead of all these credentials inahitajika, si vitu zenye tunafaa kuassume hivi tu. So you go to a production, alafu unapata they never took care of 1, 2, 3 because kawaida vile imezoewa ni wewe uende ujitafutie something like costume. If you're being called on set, even if it's just for one day as an extra, instead of the production providing all these necessities for you. So umeitwa hapo kama actor, na kila mtu ako na job yake. So for me as an actor, I need to go there and deliver my lines because you're kazi nimepewa. Wewe as the costume designer, you need to take care of my costume, my wardrobe, because siwezi fanya kazi yetu sisi wawili. So that is what I find very disturbing about our industry, the lack of professionalism. We want to achieve Netflix grade movies without putting in Netflix grade work. You get it?
Yeah.
So
everyone
I'm
must
not sure
play
how
their
I'm
part.
going to change that. Yeah, everyone must change that. So I don't know how Ellah is going to change that, but when I figure it out, I will.
Okay, last but not least, Ellah, just before I let you go, with every break comes this group of people called the stalkers or haters. How do you handle them? How do you handle such a group?
The haters?
Yeah.
Everyone has haters. It's just that you don't know about them.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, people stalking me. I'm happy when people stalk me because wamesikia jina yangu mahali na wako curious, wanashindwa Ellah ni nani na nini hizi anafanya. So And then mka stock pages zangu, none of them is private, all of them are at ellahmaina.em. Hizo ndo handle zangu. Stalk me, check out my work, lakini now the difference comes in kwa stalkers. Kuna wale wazuri wenye wanataka, like they have honest intentions. They just want to see your work and appreciate it. And there are others who are naysayers. They just want to say bad things about you, and they're just hoping for your downfall. So such people, how you deal with them is ignore them. Haters, they've always been there and they will always be there. There's nothing that you're going to say to change somebody else's mindset. That has to be a personal initiative. So mtu kama hakupendi. But kama hakupendi, does that mean you're not gonna live and breathe? You're still putting food on the table. You're living your best life. So haters haters hawajalishi at all forward. And if you give them any exactly that they should actually motivate you to move forward, because they don't want to see you make it. So wacha wafeel vibaya wakiona you're making it. Pay no attention to them and just do you, because haters will forever be there. So it's up to you to control what gets to you and what you ignore.
Thank you so much. That's all from Ellah. Guys, just as Ellah has put it across, let haters propel you to move forward. We love you, girl. Thank you so much. Over to you, Madam
Thank
President.
you very much, Lynette. You are amazing. I had a good time.
What's different? What's different about Lynette's style of hosting? Ellah, what's different about
the thing about Lynette is asking me, okay, I feel like the questions she's asking me actually matter to me and to her. She's not asking just because Madam President said, okay, now ask Ellah a question. She's asking things that she's actually curious about. When people ask me, okay, kama swali yenye ameniuliza about the challenges, but not the challenges that I've gone through, that just as an actor, ameniuliza from a general perspective, like industry yetu, shida iko wapi and what can you do about it? She's more, the questions are very simple, they're basic, but she's asking them from a point of, I'm not too sure how to say this, lakini, haulizi just as a formality. She's asking because she actually wants to know, and that's what most interviewers lack. Wanauliza maswali just to get it done with, not because they actually care about the questions they're asking.
Beautiful. Now, before we go to the next talk show host, I want to ask you, when you're a celebrity, many people ask for your pictures. Can we pose? And you have to develop a smile and know how to take pictures. You cannot get tired of smiling and treating your teeth. One time people would ask for me to pose with them, and I had these 3 teeth. They were not there. So you can imagine I would pose like,
quite tricky.
You have to devise new ways of having to show your teeth. That means you have to brush your teeth all the time.
All the time. Meno chafu.
I tell you, and when you, with that kind of knowledge, you realize that you get prettier and devise new ways of identifying yourself, and whatever you have, it stands out. Mina kujua, are you not afraid of kurogwa? Because you told me, wanataka kukuroga, uitisha picha yako. So I have taken pictures and photos with millions and millions of people. So what I'm going to be, Hellen, ujawai rogwa. Hey, what's your take?
We, sasa, vile tu Lynette ametuambia, kuna kuanga na haters. Na kuna watu, but they have never heard of that. Ati unapigwa picha ukarogwe. Ui, sijaisikia. But then,
alafu unachukua picha yako na
unashtukia what happened? Yeah, so mimi, I only control what I can.
From nowhere.
Mimi, hizo zote nimezikemea. Hakuna kitu mbaya itakama my way. Mimi, I believe myself to be a good person who is just interested in the good of everybody. Mimi hakuna mtu natakianga mabaya. Hata kama hatujuani. I just want you to be happy. Si lazima to interact or anything. But we endelea kuishi maisha yako vizuri. Mimi niendelea kuishi maisha yangu vizuri. So story na picha. Mimi sijaogopa kupiga picha. Napenda kupiga picha na watu because it makes me so happy to see the joy that I bring to people. You see, as an actor, okay, when people watch film, wanatakanga kujiona in the film. They want to recognize parts of their life in the film. So as an actor, my job is to give you a very good representation of your life. I need my audience to resonate with me. Mtu aone kitu aseme, by the way, najua your feeling. So when people resonate with me like that, na feel vizuri sana. So you meet me on the street and you want to take a picture, of course I'm going to take a picture with you. Na kama kuna mtu anataka kuifanyia mambo mabaya, mimi kuna kitu mbaya itani hapenia. I believe myself to be protected. My energies, I've asserted my energies and I know God is always looking out for me. So, mwanadamu hakuna kitu atanifanyia. So I just do what is in my control. Hizo vitu zingine, acha watu wajishughulikie.
Yeah. Mwanadamu ameumbwa na kazi nyingi sana. Wamezoea kukuja kuharibu maisha ya watu, waambie ende nije
Wanadamu.
How else would they know that you're
My
singing?
haters.
Anyway, yeah,
You
I
have to
know.
sing.
The last interviewer for this afternoon is Winnie. Winnie, tunaona kama umekaa kijebres, unakaa tu kistringo. Madam, what's happening? Hebu kaa vizuri kama mtu ambaye anataka kukuwa talk show host. Put the camera in front of you, alafu wache kutuonyesha etc. Na uangalie Regina Reme kuambia mahali pa kuangalia. Wache kuangalia kando, unaangalia hivi. Etc. Your last at least geuza kiti. Yes, that's better. You are making us see your children. See, kuna siku shows, news. Mtoto alikuja kwa show. Katoto kana crawl na nyuma. And then doing. Anyway, we'll talk about that another show. Okay.
Hello, Winnie.
Okay.
Fine. And I'm so happy to have you. And my first question that I would love to ask is, I know that you're an actor, and I would love to know the very last movie that you've done. What kind of a person would love the movie? What kind of a person, a character of a person that would love the movie that you did?
Okay, thank you, Winnie, for having me here. First of all, let me say how beautiful you look. Una smile kila mahali tu kuna waka. You look so good. And then to answer your question, the last film I did, last film I did was, okay, film inakategoriziwa as anything yenye umeact. So ijalishi kama ilikuwa a music video, haijalishi kama ilikuwa kwa TV, ilikuwa movie, an advertisement, anything that you featured in ilikuwa inashutiwa na ulikuwa na act, that's a film. So the last film I did was a commercial, and it was a cooking product commercial. So it's not out yet, but I think the kind of person that would relate with it is every African. I feel once meona product yangu, once your commercial imetokea, mtaweza relate more, because it captures all aspects of African get-togethers. Unaona marorashio na ma weddings. Your film.
Hello. Yeah. Siski.
I'm saying looks like we have lost her. Looks like, oh, there you go. We lost you for a bit. Unmute yourself, Ellah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
in a mute. Okay. Yeah, ni internet kidogo, but we are back. So what I was saying, I feel the last film in Yefanya kind of related is African. No matter where from, does not matter gender, does not matter age. Kila mtu represented for the last film that I did, and I'm very excited for you to watch it.
That's beautiful. And one more question that I have for you, Ellah, is well, this question is wide. You can answer it from your personal life perspective, from your career life. What is that thing that excites you in your life, whichever aspect you'd like to choose from? What is that one thing that really, really excites you?
don't think I'm excited by just one thing. Life is an experience, and there's so much happening in life for you to just focus all your attention on one thing. Why should just one thing make you happy? Why can't 20 things make you happy at the same time with the same effect? Si lazima, I don't like to box myself like that. Napenda tu kuwa free, such that I take anything that comes my way, and if it makes me feel good, I will enjoy it. If the next time I'm not feeling it, then I let it go.
Nice.
All right.
So the very, very last question that I would love to ask you is,
so you cannot have two lasts. You cannot have two lasts. There's one
I'm
last.
sorry, please give me the
very
last.
last.
This one is a by the way. This one is a by the way.
Okay.
Oh, yes. What is that thing that happened to you last year that made you really happy last year, having 2020 as a COVID year? What is that thing that
she got paid 500,000 shillings?
Thank you. That's it for our show today, guys. It is 1:57. We know that Ellah, my number is 072345. Ukuja unigawie hiyo 500,000 ulipata.
Propaganda. Malicious propaganda.
We have 2 minutes to finish our show, guys. Thank you so much. We had 13 people registered. Rodrigo, thank you for connecting us to J.RODRIGEZ Entertainment and Ellah, one of the best. Ellah, I will not ask you what your parting shot is because everybody gets asked the same question. My take home is don't ask anything that anybody has asked if you want to stand out as a talk show host. Guys, I also keep time as a teacher. We have 1 minute. Thank you so much, Ellah, for that beautiful smile. 13 people who registered their presence today. Thank you also for keeping time and showing up. My name is Hellen Mtawali, Madam President. Tunasema kwaherini. Kama ulibaki na swali, itabidi ukufe nayo. Kufa na hiyo swali yako. Kwa sababu tulikupatia time, ulichelewa. Tumekupatia time umekuja kuchelewa. Nataka kwanza kuharibia time na tulijua time yetu ni 1 to 2. 2 imefika. Ellah, you're the best. Thank you so much.
Thank
Everybody
you,
else,
Hellen, for having me.
thank you and bye for now. We'll see you in the next season next week. God bless you and bye for now. Kwaheri.
Bye.
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 Wenda wazimu.